Hey everybody, it's Cinnamon Cooney, your Art Sherpa, and today is a day so long in the return. It took a minute. This is a surprise, special sort of secret, not so secret live. I teach painting. This is a painting I taught today. And because this painting has water, and because the my community did it from my imagination, in other words, I didn't give them references. I imagined this and we painted it together. We thought it would be a good time to bring Kevin back. And Kevin was a figure from the show from years and years ago that would appear whenever there was a body of water, which is basically Kevin is a Kraken. He's got a backstory. There's about 20 secret videos that you can watch where he appears and we learn more about Kevin. And so I don't want to take that from you, but basically Kevin is going to come and appear. He's a magical Kraken, so he can be in the sky, he can be in the desert, he can be in this cold water. He's good. And then we talked about other fantastical things that could be happening in this winter scene. So this class is one that you could go do right now yourself, follow along step by step, traditional kind of art class. This is all of my community, and it is Thanksgiving after the live. This will be unlisted and only findable as an iCard in the original lesson. That's the secret about Kevin's secret lesson is you got to kind of go to the website. You got to know somebody that knows where the playlist is. You got to know. And that's what makes him fun. On the mic is my husband, John. Oh, no.
Oh, I'm here.
You're not him. You're
not
my son.
I'm your son.
Spider is back. And you guys get the bonus. We're the co-host today. Instead of my husband, John is Spider, and he's going to make sure that during this live show, and this show is completely live and unrehearsed, I don't have a plan here, that you guys can see what I'm talking about. I will teach these things I'm making up as I'm making them up. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I will explain to you why I'm making the decisions that I'm making. I will tell you the colors that I'm using, how to mix them, every tool, every technique fully explained out, even though I am making up a bunch of stuff here to exist within our fun winter scene painting, which again was a made up painting. So is that meta enough, do you think, Spider?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because see, here's what I know. I always look at would you watch my channel? Would you watch this show if you ran into it?
I curate a very specific thing.
You really do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to blow something up to get you to stop and watch me, wouldn't I?
You're okay.
I'm the mom, so he watches me anyways. I'm gonna stick in a Kraken for sure, and I'm playing with the idea of mythical forest creature guardians, snowmen. We've had ghost turkeys suggested. All kinds of fun stuff. Spider suggested a Sasquatch for his dad, and I will probably actually weirdly start there, maybe. Yeah. I've got ultramarine blue, Mars blackout. I'm gonna put out some burnt sienna. I think I'm gonna put out a basic palette and then just work from there. And a basic palette is Cad Red, Quinacridone Magenta, Cad Yellow, and some type of Hansa yellow, usually lemon, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, Mars black, titanium white. But I'm also gonna put out some burnt sienna. So, and I'll go over the colors again in detail. So don't worry. That's how I found you, Cinnamon. I just ran into it on YouTube one day 5 or 6 years ago. Says Sheila knows who Kevin is. Yes, and Ever Fun Twins is here saying hi. Yeah, this is why it's fun, and I'm gonna start bringing the fun back. We're gonna start having weird surprise lessons. YouTube is not a network, and I am afraid I'm with the creators that it's great that we have intros and we're professional and we're hey, don't forget to subscribe and all the stuff that we do, right, to help build our communities. But it isn't a network, and it's getting produced and professional. And, instead of seeing creators like Mr. Beast is these amazing kind of wild cards that are out in the world doing these strange and unusual things, we have to discuss them they're a major corporation out there making decisions, which he is not. He's just a dude succeeding on YouTube doing some cool stuff.
Well, he's close to a small corporation at this point.
He is now, but only because of the numbers. Yeah. Because this has such big numbers. But I'm going to tell you right now something about this as I'm putting up paint, and I'll go over the colors. He's not protected like any celebrity anywhere in the universe, anywhere. He anything he has, he's had to learn through hard knocks to put in place. Right? If you're a celebrity and you blow up and you get famous, you've got a team, people read your mean comments, you're not allowed to respond emotionally to your community. all of that stuff, right? But YouTubers, we can build up a giant audience and have none of that. So like, I kind of actually like that we're real and there's none of it. And it's just, this started years ago because there wasn't a lot of this online and there weren't a lot of teachers. And I just thought you guys might like want to learn how to paint and have some fun with it. And now it's my full-time job, which is cool. But I also really liked the reasons why we started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luna has a suggestion. Well, he would have to be under the ice because
Okay,
he's
so here's a
frog.
rule about Luna's suggestions. Luna's suggestions have to be pitched to Mom first because Luna draws at such a high level. You can make suggestions that break my brain. I could try to put it in though. I will try. It's Thanksgiving. I will try. You are my child,
But he's
and
an
I will try.
amphibian.
We'll see what we got. We'll see what we got.
Under the ice? Oh, he's under the ice because he's an amphibian.
Oh, so we don't even see him.
Well, it would be like a little like I feel like
His
his hands would be on
hands would be on
his
there.
hands would just be trying to get out the ice. That would be kind of dark.
You want him trapped under here, like trying to get out? You're a mad person. Oh my goodness. What? What? Oh, don't worry, guys. I'm gonna go over my colors. I'm just putting out enough to make sure that I can
Okay.
make anything that I want to make and do anything that I want to do. Make anything I want to make. Do anything I want to do. Yeah. So I'm putting out colors. A frog, with butterfly wings, under the ice. I feel like.
Well, why can't he just be sleeping?
Can I
under
do
the
this
ice?
weird thing, Luna? Would you be willing to finish the painting with that on a short? I won't put you on the live, I won't put you on camera, but would you be willing to do it? Think on it. Come back and decide because I think that would be really cool. And then you guys would know that a secret short is coming that Luna Bella painted a tiny fairy butterfly frog under the ice. Okay, that's fine. I'm being weird.
You're okay.
I'm
It
okay.
sounds fun.
I like my kids. I'm being weird. I'm putting out paint. We'll go over the paint, then I'll get into it with y'all. I don't know if I'm going to do any eldritch green, which is that lemony green. I'm going to put out just a little of my lemon yellow in case I want a mystical glow somewhere. Because you got to get almost a neon radioactive green sometimes to get that Oppenheimer effect to it. All right. Yellow ochre, phthalo blue, quinacridone magenta, cad red medium, cad yellow medium, bird sienna, ultramarine blue, phthalo green. This is lemon yellow Hansa. It's just an extra bonus in case I need something. Titanium white, Mars black. I probably will use satin glazing liquid. I probably will mist with water, and I may use a zinc white. And Amethyst says, such a blessed child. You are, Spider. Wonderful mom. I wish she was my mom, but I'm way older than her and Luna too. I don't know. My kids, you got to go kid by kid on the, am I doing a good job on the mom thing? It's really a year by year, kid by kid scenario. And Donna is verifying that Luna Bella is a good artist. Yeah, to say that is, it's a shocking statement for how good Luna is. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of think about where objects could be, and I'm going to take my chalk to sort of sketch them out. And I feel like there's this potential for Kevin I hate to lose this side of things, but I feel like there's this potential for Kevin to be here kind of entwined in, I am adding things that could be tentacles entwined over here. And then I feel like
So is
a
he?
Sasquatch could be peeking out over here. I'm kind of giving that shape. So maybe a Kevin and a Sasquatch.
He could be in the distance, hanging off a tree.
He could be, but I actually think I'm going to have him peeking.
Okay.
Maybe wearing a Santa hat. Hard to say. It's a lot. Then over here.
So is Kevin a squid or an octopus?
The Kraken.
Well,
He is a Kraken, as in release the Kraken, Titan of the world.
Well,
from when the universe was formed. Kraken!
with the whole.
Kraken! You release him.
Well, the Kraken's a squid.
He does. I'm sorry. I have to do it. You can't.
What?
I was going to say somebody needs to call Cindy Powell and get my Kraken back. But I'm not trying to start it with y'all. I just All right, and maybe like there's a snowman over here, and maybe Kevin and the snowman
Heather suggests
are
a vampire bunny.
throwing snowballs. So I'm doing a couple trajectories. Okay, so I've just got to make some decisions about like how the snowballs will go. And so what I'm doing is I'm making little line sketches to go, where do I think I might have something? And then, let's see what we've got. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to try to scale it. That's the other problem, is I may have the scale really, really wrong. In fact, I have to remember that my scale is very different. So let's...
But
Hmm.
does Kevin look more like a squid or an octopus? Does he have a round head or a pointy head?
He has a round head, not a pointy head. So I'd say he has more in common with an octopus, but he is proper Kraken.
I mean, like a...
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, like a proper Kraken would be like a
What I'm
colossal
going to do
squid.
here is I'm figuring out the scale of how large I want this snowman to be. And I'm also kind of adding that line there. The circle is his scale. How big is he in relationship to the bridge? And that line is the gesture of his body. That is the bend that I'm trying to imply in the three-balled figure.
Mm.
I think this one is going to be a three-balled snowman, maybe?
Mm.
Yes, maybe a three-balled snowman. First decisions that you make. What's the size of my snowman? What are the scale of objects? The other thing is that I find that a lot of people, I'm going to make some of my gray snow color, which if you were in the earlier painting, you have memorized by now. Ultramarine blue, burnt sienna.
Mm.
And we will, because he's made of snow, so we got to
Make him out of snow. All the snow.
gotta
colors.
make him out of snow too.
If he has to look like the snow around him, but he's made of snow. What kind of... Is he gonna have a hat or a scarf?
Well, I always scarf my snowmen
Mm.
because I don't want them to be cold.
They can never be cold. That'd be very rude.
Just trying to get some scale going here.
Yeah.
And scale is just how big is everything related to everything else. I might even come and get a little bit of black just so I don't lose him.
You should go look at the
There we
The
go.
comments.
And then I think I want his little bum to be bigger. I should look at what?
You should look at the comments or the...
Oh, what's going on in the comments? Can you move her back so we can see her paint?
Was that all you see? Or...
Are you switching cameras? Move me back. Oh, sweetheart.
What?
Dad forgot to put me small. You have to
Ooh.
make me small. Thank you for
How
letting
do-
us know.
How
Dad
did
was
I
supposed to do that. Go get Dad.
Okay.
Dad forgot to do the thing. Thank you for letting us know. Vampire bunny in a gnome hat. Hi, I'm from Scotland and I'm loving this fun painting. I do stuff like this with my grandson. Says Johan, is it Johan Lindsay? I hope I said that right. Can you shrink so we can see her mix paint? Yep, definitely. He's going to go shrink, and Dad just forgot. He will be right back to do. But the colors I'm mixing are ultramarine blue and burnt sienna, and you caught it early. Thank you. I think I was big even over the materials. Yeah. All right. 9x12, yellow ochre, phthalo blue, quinacridone magenta, cad red medium, cad yellow medium, burnt sienna, ultramarine blue, phthalo green, lemon yellow, titanium white, Mars black. The mix for the snow is ultramarine blue and burnt sienna and white.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, what I was looking at is there was a...
I'm going to add a slightly lighter color to kind of...
This is an interesting idea. MWB Arts.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, okay. He was saying, he's suggesting Kevin with a tattoo of a butterfly frog trapped under the ice, with one tentacle breaking out. So that's a whole thing.
That is the whole thing. And the thing is sometimes our imagination or our friends' imaginations exceeds our skill. And so the amount of skill to create a tattoo that looks like it's on skin but still represents a frog underneath ice is that's like something that your professor goes by and says, "For your masters."
Yeah.
So I am adding the shadow kind of towards the back because we know where our light is. One thing we know where our light source is. So this is still true for any characters or anything that I add, right? Is that in this world, that will be where the light source is. And then if I know that's right there, then I can kind of come underneath with shadow color. Kind of tap back a little bit of shadow that he might be casting. And I will bring that shadow up the snowball. And then at the base of this snowball and a little bit at the base of that snowball right there. So that what that's going to do is that will create shape.
Oh, thank you, Ramona.
Thank you, Ramona. Oh my goodness, Ramona, thank you. All right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, a Bigfoot tangled with Christmas lights. That is really quite something.
Yeah, that's pretty
that
pretty
is
good idea.
funny. All right, I'll think on that. That actually is a pretty funny idea.
Yeah.
So I kind of know where he is now. I haven't decided hat yet. I haven't put in the rest of his motion, but I've just got some snowman snowballing. He's a cool looking snowman.
Oh, wow, it is a really cool looking snowman.
Right? And I'm kind of just playing with the light. See how by adding that light value there, it just really snowmaned him up.
Yeah.
Now I might be kind of traditional with my Sasquatch. I will start in black though, and then I will build up. I could put him in his snow coat, but we're going to say that due to global warming or climate disruption, his coat isn't turning at the right time of year. So he's going to be brown. And that's really because he will show and I just want him to show. So while probably if I was really worried about the integration as painting, in other words, how organic and real and true it reads, I might make him white to say, oh, his fur turned. But in this case, I am absolutely going to do him in a brown fur. I'm going to make an elongated oval, I think.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back into the tree.
Is he going to be a big Bigfoot or?
Well, I mean, if you see the size of this tree to the bridge and we know a human being is this big on the bridge, he's a pretty big Bigfoot. So scale, right? We're back to scale, aren't we? How big is Bigfoot in this world?
I usually picture Bigfoot as like, I don't know, like 7 foot, maybe 8 foot tall.
Yeah, I'd say he's more like in the 9 and 12, 13 foot range. Right? Like much, much bigger.
In that scale, I might think he's like 20, 30 feet tall.
Maybe, yeah. He's big.
Scale. He's a big guy.
He's a big guy. Well, and the scale will change as we add objects because all of those objects.
Maybe it's just a small bridge. It's a possibility too.
Well, I still think we have to assume a human is here. So a human is a little taller. Like a human is like right here. Like we could put that there. It's a little footbridge.
Yeah.
Let's do the human here. So
like
that's a human. So the snowman's a little taller than a human. And if a human were standing right there, yeah, he's big.
Yeah, he's like it's like around 12 feet.
I don't hate it though, so I'm keeping it.
He looks a lot bigger when you think about it. He's like 12 feet tall, but like just with just with the bridge, he looks like he's like 30 feet tall.
And so we want him decorating, I think. Got to decide how to put him in. So again, sometimes you're making decisions and then you're like, have to decide if I want him coming back to the tree or out from the tree. Or neither, I think.
Yeah.
So if the paint underneath is very dry and the paint on top isn't, you can erase. I like the peaking.
Yeah.
There's something about the peaking that's working for me right now. And his, I'm okay even in his scale and placement. I'm okay. I'm gonna come in here with some yellow, and we're gonna say like right here. Right, so a little bit lower down from the top of the head on features, and then I think here, so he's at a 3/4 angle. So we're going to drop his eye line lower a little bit than I normally would have it, and then kind of paint his face, and then do a little wind and everything.
That's interesting. That's an interesting idea. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
That is also very good. I like it. Kevin is often based, I often do Kevin with purples.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And putties and stuff. I like Kevin in the putty and purple range, so I'm going to put out some Doxazine purple.
Mm.
You know, just to give Kevin a...
Does he have like green like suction cups or?
Sometimes. I painted him a lot of times. What I need to do is go through and create a lookbook and a gallery about Kevin.
Yeah. That's a good point. The Bigfoot's of winning the snowball fight.
Okay. So Kevin's eye, I think I'm going to put right about here.
It'd be fun if Kevin had a bunch of snowballs in his hand, like all of his
He
hands,
is going to be, it is a snowball fight.
versus a whole bunch of snowmen.
That's the trajectories.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean snowmen instead of snowballs?
Oh no, I mean like the snowman versus Kevin. So you have a Kevin with a bunch of snowballs and all his tentacles, and you have the snowman. I mean, like maybe a few more snowmen because it's a
You
one.
feel like Kevin is a lot to take on by yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, I hear you. All right, I'm going to take a little
Like-
bit of my yellow ochre and my quinacridone and my white.
Yeah. But like 8 snowballs versus 2 is a little unfair. Because I would imagine it has like 8 legs or something like that.
No, fighting Kevin is unfair.
Yeah.
There's nothing fair about the fighting of Kevin.
You gotta bring a friend.
Kevin brings a friend, and we're all in trouble.
Mm.
Anybody remember Kevin's girlfriend?
I think I partially do.
So there's Kevin peeking out of the water. I've got a Sasquatch kind of coming off of here. By the way, this is a lot of how you might do those thrift store paintings when you're trying to paint over a thrift store painting. I'd say the biggest issue about painting over thrift store painting is they're mostly oils, and you can't paint acrylic over oils and have it stick for any amount of time.
Mm.
You know, it'll temporarily stick, but over time it'll start to flake off and flake away.
Well, that's not good.
Army of snowmen against Kevin. And then Ramona says that they are doing a Mexican themed Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness, did you hand do tamales? I just love handmade tamales. Just like turkey smirky. Somebody willing to roll all those is like my bestie. Like when they're really, really made from like a slow cooked pork in a good masa and like, oh, just roasted. Just so good. Heather says the snowman doesn't know what he's getting into with Kevin. I have to agree, probably not.
Yeah.
And see, already I don't want to bring the tentacle from where I originally had it because that would interfere with the eye. So I'm going to bring this around here.
Gonna have him holding snowballs or?
Yeah, he will be holding snowballs. It's okay.
Oh, I'm just curious.
Yeah, totally holding snowballs. No, this is fun. But right now, I just want to make sure that we've got good tentacle flow and placement.
Ramona says no, it does not go that far.
That what?
About the Mexican Thanksgiving.
Oh, no, it's totally good. I would get it. I'm like, I show up when the homemade. The other one that gets me is like dumplings made by hand. It's just anything where you got a full dough around meat. Now, so what I'm doing here is just making sure that this feels like maybe a separate little snowbank.
Yeah.
So then his tentacle could be down and.
The Return of Kevin.
And a little little tentacle kind of went back and then and I'll have to do highlights and different things to change the value enough so that it shows. Mm. And
Rainbow
I'm
says,
going to bring back a little bit of kind of energy here that implies that that snowball has been thrown with some particular force.
it's on fire.
No, not on fire.
Blue fire. Yeah. Um,
And I will definitely...
Rainbow says that dumplings aren't dumplings unless made by hand.
Is there a machine that does it? I would eat some non-real dumplings if they were made in the machine because I'm terrible at making them by hand. I agree with you completely. I'm just, not great at making them. So can you see how that snow coming back will make an arc line of what could have been thrown?
Yeah.
And so now we have an arc coming across the painting towards our combatant, second combatant. Mr. Snow. Snow. Now I gotta put on some glasses. Let's call this a step, sir.
Ooh. Let's see here. Does this still have it set to the this is step 1 or 2? Or 2, yeah, right?
I can't know that.
Okay, so we're
I will never know.
that is
It's not a thing I do.
17.
That's too many steps.
That is too many. I think that still has.
You know what? Let's not worry about steps.
Sorry.
Let's just not even worry about it. This is a bonus, fun, hidden gem that you only see during the live that you have to you find after the video. So if you're looking for this later, where you'll find it is in the video of how to paint this winter scene, in the iCard, in the description, and in the end card. I knew where I was putting it, so I'm just kind of erasing it.
It's looking good.
It is looking good. I'm going to kind of... All right. I'm adding 2 little dots right there. Is his very long head, 2 little dots. Then close to the 2 little dots, I'm going to add just a lid light. Right? Just a lid light at the top of the 2 little dots, I think.
Yeah.
Then little lines that will sort of imply a brow ridge, right? And then don't eat yellow snow. I was looking for roast stores, didn't have any. Dumplings are way easier to do easy not to do them from scratch. Way easy not to do them from scratch. All right, we're good. Okay. A little kind of upper lip there. So we're just capturing on his skin just a little bit of the highlight, right? Like what we're seeing, the kind of planes and things. We won't really see him until we get our fur in. So some of that is like just trying to get everything around and then I get the fur. So let's start with the fur. I'm going to take a little bit of my black and brown together. I'm using a number 6 Raphael Sepia. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to make sure that he is got lots and lots of fur to keep him warm. This first color of fur is or hair. Let's say he's got hair. And the reason that he would have hair is because
primate.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. 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 Oh, but what if he's convergent evolution? What if he's like just like this is a crabification?
Well, I mean,
What would Lindsay say to that? Could this be crabification?
well,
Wolfication?
I would probably say that we're also a primate of sorts. I can't remember specifically if we are or aren't.
No, we
Depending
have
on,
a common ancestor.
I mean, like if we go into the primate category or not, I just can't remember.
No, it diverges. Like we share a common ancestor with, but also keep in mind we share a common ancestor with like
Fungus.
banana trees, fungus, and stuff. So classification is its own journey.
Humans like putting things in boxes.
We do. So I'm kind of just hinting him down here. If you can see, like the hint is coming down.
Yeah. Last one was gonna.
And I'm going to come over here and add a little bit of red and yellow to the brown.
Last one was gonna punt that snowman in the head. It's like.
No,
Knock
he's
him over.
hiding. He knows not to get in it. He knows not to start with Kevin, and we need to name the snowman. We need to name the Sasquatch and the snowman. They don't have names.
I'll suggest the snowman can be named Charlie.
I've got to know why.
And was it because like charcoal?
Charcoal Charlie? Okay. That's where it is. I hope you guys are doing okay. I know it can be a tough time of year, and I hope this extra long show and the play that we're doing. Now I'm going to tell you the issue with Sasquatch that nobody will tell you because they're just, I don't know, too unable to talk like grown-ups. I'm gonna be honest. You've got to think about how you're painting your Sasquatch, and you need to make sure that you avoid humanizing him too much, or you will end up in weird and uncomfortable conversations with viewers. So that's the only time whenever you humanize anything, you really have to make sure that you're careful with that.
Yeah.
And we're just highlighting the front here. I gotta find my blue towel. No, it's in my lap.
It's a very majestic Sasquatch.
He's majestic. I'm gonna get a little black here and kind of come in and
Fur is blowing in the wind.
really try and make sure those lids are. I'm gonna come in and get a little gray. I'm going to kind of make that more of a solid structure, I think. And then, oh, I love sugar and tomato sauce. I love a sweet tomato sauce. I am barely touching this part. Like, I gotta tell you, like, when you're trying to do little fussy details like that, that can be a little bit hard.
He does look very afraid of Kevin.
You should be afraid of Kevin. We're all afraid of Kevin.
Yeah.
That might be too much. I will knock that back in a minute. And what I'll do is I won't erase it. I will glaze it back. Is what I will probably do. And then I'm going to add a little, and since I'm going to do it there, I will add a little bit here just to make sure we've got that. And then I'm going to come in and imply a little eye. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow ochre and my white. Didn't know I had this many feelings on Sasquatch.
But now you do.
Now I do. You come here and add a highlight. So I did yellow, ochre, and white. And this is just so that I can highlight a few little hairs, and that will help him read better. So yeah, you know, it's just real easy whenever you do any humanization of anything. It is very easy to accidentally fall into racist, uh, accidentally and unintentional racist stereotypes. And the thing is, and I've talked to Spider about this and the kids about this like a lot, which is that people who are clever and not very kind have worked very hard on creating these, and so you can unintentionally end up into those. And I always like to like evaluate myself and evaluate my art whenever I am making a fairy, a goblin, a fantastical mashup of an animal and a human. Anytime I'm stylizing, I do think about that. And I just want to let you know that Sasquatch is super awesome. And I will provide a traceable. It's just one of those areas where you've just got to be like, you know, thoughtful. That's it. There's a really good video, especially since this is a secret find. There's a really good video. I think it's Ethan Beck. Now, listen, he's a weird dude. I'm not. He's smart and he's super talented and he's qualified in his industry, and he's never said anything art-wise that was out of tune with anything I thought. His humor is dark and sometimes inappropriate, and I'm not making a recommendation of his humor. Humor is as subjective as art. But if you go watch him, he did a video on the most racist triangle, which if you're a new student in art and you're not following all the artists on Deviant and stuff, you might have missed the whole thing. That does the best job without conflating or like, I don't want to say he doesn't do hyperbole, because again, he does some comedy, so he uses some words. But when you really listen to what he's saying, he's just practical. He's like, of course the human face doesn't just do these things. That's a ridiculous thing to do. There's too much variance, and we as artists must observe the face as it is. You know, he says it funnier than that, but he has a really good explanation of how it works. And if you get a chance to take it, it will make that whole problem seem never scary again. You will understand why it happens. You will be able to avoid it. And it's something I think that is just not done in education online enough. I was really lucky. I went to a university that really took some time to cover that as a subject, and it wasn't something that I was like organically familiar with, and I'm really glad. And now I can recognize that stuff like when Ethan does his little videos, how valuable they are. So our Sasquatch is definitely super hiding, but we're just a little bit fuzzy and we're just peeking out. See how we're doing? Yeah. So Ethan, and sometimes he has a mic on a knife. I don't have a way of explaining that. But if you need art facts like Proco, he's got good art facts. But he's weird. So I'm not. Some people love it. Some people don't. And these days, like if you even mention somebody and if they, you know, get themselves canceled, then somehow by proximity of not knowing everything everywhere all the time, it can happen to you too. So now I'm just like, I don't know this person personally. I'm not endorsing anything they've ever said in Twitter 20 years ago. I'm just saying right now, this bit of information is good. Do you guys ever have to do that in your lives? I do that all the time. So I've taken a little bit of Cad Red and Cad Yellow, mix them together, creating a very bright color. And I got a little brown in there. I'm going to come in and try to do the most delicate little half circle I've ever done. There we go. Now he's got some eyes. So nice when he has eyes. And I might add some of this lovely color through the fur because it's just pretty. And you'll see that I'm doing little... Oh, and now he's just super cute.
So, just a big baby.
Just being adorable. Hiding in the trees. Hiding in the trees. Like you do. That's what he's doing. He's hiding in trees. He's saying, don't get me. He's watching action movies. I'm going to put some glazing liquid out. And we'll get to him in a second with it. But right now, this is satin glazing liquid. It slows down the drying time of your paint, extends the paint, does everything. Luna, will you microwave my coffee, Dove? My kids are really
Good
patient with me.
one.
Really patient. All right. I think I'm going to tentatively let this have a rest and a thought, and I'm going to think about the positioning of. I don't know if you've ever done this. This is a thing you can do in painting too, where you're like, oh, I really, really want to do a thing, but I'm not sure if it's going to work, where you just do it with water to see where it goes.
Hmm.
Mm. So what I did is I lowered the position of the tentacle because the arc I had implied in would have shot it here, and I kind of did it here. So I've got to create, the tentacle has to end over here in such a way that it could have launched this. And we know that because the debris trail is on the right-hand side. If the snowman, and I'll do one over here where I launch one, it'll probably be this way. The debris trail will go back the other way. We could even do this where it's like mutually assured destruction, or I could do it where it's like actively. Oh, do you want an impact? I could impact the snow onto him. That's pretty fun. Impacting the snow
be
onto
fun if
him.
there was
Like have like let's have little snowman throw the ball and then connect to his head.
Yeah, just a little there's a little destroyed snowball on top of his head.
I'm gonna let you know my secret wish in the universe is that I could do this full time. Made up paintings. This is really fun.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, like, I wish these were like the thumbnails that got 1 million clicks.
You never know.
I love it. It is my favorite.
We have 108 current viewers.
Wow. Considering this is a secret show, it was a secret, not too secret show. All right, let's wipe this here. And what I will do is I will create the tentacle story backwards. So I'll start where the tentacle ends and then build it backwards, hopefully creating a good line.
This one actually seems to be doing really good. You're doing a good job.
I'm doing a good job.
God, you're doing a good job.
Good painting. I love that you guys are like, you know what? This will be the day that we decide we're interested in what mommy does.
Okay, so
No, I mean like watching the whole show.
so it's a lot.
I
easier
am
to be in the
removing that
moment.
tentacle because I didn't like its placement.
It's a lot easier to be in the moment and watch it, like, for me at least.
Is it?
Yeah. Like
No,
when I'm watching it in the room while you're doing it, it's a lot more fun because I can interact.
I honestly think that we work because we have the live capacity. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this tentacle, interestingly enough, back this way.
He's having a little moment with his tentacles.
Well, then he could have thrown it backwards.
Yeah.
And then it'll go behind his head, see? Yeah. And behind the snowbank. You need to move the thing over a little bit.
Oh, what do I need to do?
Yeah. You can't see the...
Oh, yeah. Is this the right?
Just go overhead. You don't have to be side. You can alternate between overhead and... So see how now we have a tentacle behind this bank and two... So now we've created a real sense of where Kevin exists, even with this little bit of planning. And then what I have to decide is if how many more tentacles I need. So this is not a fast process per se. Not super duper fast. I'm going to go a lot more blue here initially first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some of this a ball. I got to squish it. We're going to use an animation trick.
What's your trick?
All right. We're going to get that thing out and I'm going to explain to you something kind of important in art before I do this. So I have a tentacle that needs to come and hit my pencils. All right, I'm gonna just do this. Okay, so let's say we have Kevin's tentacle head,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Kind of peeking out, and there's some. Okay, and we want to have a ball coming from this direction and landing on him.
Mm.
If I do the ball is even just a partial circle, it won't have that much kinetic energy, even if I throw things off. But if I
Smushed.
smush it a little bit and break it, right? So if we deform it and then pull things off of it, it will feel like this weighted object came here, hit, compressed, and then projected off. So what digital artists are doing in the physics, you'll hear an artist talk a lot about the physics of objects, the physics of particles, the physics of light, the physics of these things. And really what they're doing is they're using math to talk about the things that we talk about in paint. Even though it seems like they're using color and other things, they're actually thinking a lot about how objects work.
I'd even go as far as making it kind of like an ice cream scoop. How it's like almost halfway smushed with a little bit on the sides.
See, he watches a lot of video games, familiar with the physics. The first time I realized how video games saw the world differently was the first time I realized that jiggle physics was like a thing.
Soft body. Soft body physics.
Well, I'm gonna be real honest. Like, it's the gaming industry was at the time predominantly male, and so it was through the male gaze. And there was a period of time where a lot of thought was put into the physics of a woman's body.
Of course, you had to make that
Jumping,
connection.
landing, fighting, playing volleyball. It was just a period of time in the 90s I have no way to explain. But it was a strange choice that a bunch of artists made. I just hope they were okay. It's like, send smoke signals. So now I'm gonna want to have that happen. I'm gonna imagine this kind of came in hard and hit here. And then I will break off bits of it. You can kind of see me tapping my brush, breaking off little bits of it, making these irregular little shapes. And I'll splatter here too, but this, right? And by doing that, it will make it seem like it just hit him here. Even though the trail's going the same way, right? Like, there might be some little bits of snow that would fall off in his face, and I'll put those there. But most of that's going to be gone now. And now what we're going to see from here is the impact.
Yeah.
Right. So even though we're sending people off this way because we're bringing them back in with this really strong arc that follows this arc, we are not sending the viewer away off the canvas, even with this explosion that's happening. I'm going to grab the smallest amount of yellow I think I've grabbed in a long time. I'm going to come over towards the left, so hopefully I'm not in your way.
What's going on?
I'm adding a little touch of yellow to Bigfoot's eyes so that they're just a little more glowy.
Okay.
Why I wouldn't care? I don't know, but I did, so I did it. All right, I'm going to grab a little black and a little glazing liquid and go over his nose a bit, because remember I did that in white and it was just too bright for where he was in the painting.
Yeah.
And I can kind of come over here and make this half of him a little bit darker and that half of him lighter, so it'll seem like he's got a little,
just as a thought,
shadow on him.
You could have a little snow on his shoulder, like he got hit by a snowball, and that's why he's hiding.
You know, you really could.
No.
You're great. Why would you say I don't know? Why would you question that wonderful idea? I mean, who's to say? So all I'm doing is just making sure that one side of his face is just a little brighter than the other, and that's just implying that he's peeking out from behind the tree. And normally, like, if I was going to paint him intentionally in here, I'd paint him first and then add the tree. But you can see that we can fussily go through and add a little more light, a little more white to my snow color, as you do. bring this around. Now, there's going to be some interesting things that are happening. It is true that the light might be stronger overhead, but also because this is crossing directly in front of our strongest light source, it's going to be more in halo.
But also, the snow causes a lot of reflection.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. And this is what I mean by what you're witnessing me use is a large amount of visual inventory that I've developed for long-term use in my painting. In other words, I don't have a snowball here. I'm not looking at one, but I know from painting a lot of snowballs, so many that I know that in light, it's going to be a little more halo.
Yeah.
And so I have to create that effect for it to feel like it's real.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, buddy.
Love you too.
You're amazing. I can't wait to eat today.
I'm also very hungry.
Well, it was super nice of Patty to. Did you see the grandma Sasquatch?
Oh yeah, the Nana.
I'm just like trust Patty to find the most unfindable thing. So we are very happy we have company for Thanksgiving. My mom just got back from a long cruise, so she was not able to make it up, and we were definitely not able to get everybody onto a plane in there. So I'm just grateful that I get to be with you guys and that I have company here.
April Dixon says it took forever to find this. I would imagine that's relating to the stream.
I'm sorry this was hard to find. I would think it would be just under live. It should show up as April. Do you know? Was it not showing up under upcoming live streams or live streams right now? I'm just kind of adding the. Come back there. So you see, I'm lightening it up. See how that creates that halo in that snow?
Yeah, it's really quite cool.
So my brain is just really what it's doing right now is it's just using every time I've ever painted anything with light. And I can feel it referencing like the times I did the water droplets on a sunset. It's using similar knowledge. So it's weird that at this stage in my life I know why it's calling up a certain memory.
That's strange. You're saying that it didn't pop up in the dashboard. Or it was not, but there's a little pop-up that up on this.
Wow.
That's interesting.
100% worth the hunt. Well, thank you. Tell Dad that. Go tell Dad that he may have it set at unlisted or something. I don't think I set it at unlisted, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go right into my.
Do you want me to do that right now? Or?
I'm going to go on my phone over here. I can't. I'm not signed in.
Actually, I can go. I'll check it right now.
You know, just see if that it is public. I'm going to keep going because it's I bet told everybody it was going to be secret.
Maybe a little too secret.
Too secret though.
Yeah.
Because I'm not Markiplier famous. So I'm adding little highlights to that snowball to kind of show that snow is coming off here.
I think we're doing just fine.
Oh, is it public?
Oh no, I'm talking about like us being not like. I think we're just as famous, Markiplier. We're just as famous as him.
Okay.
We're great. Totally.
But not Mr. Beast.
I don't know. I think we might be able to beat him.
So I'm just adding little sparks. So these little highlights I'm popping on are like where the snow is catching light. You know, it kind of glitters, and by painting that helps it feel like snow. It's not a pure white either, and that leaves me room for splatter.
Oh no, the stream is definitely popping up on the dashboard.
Okay.
We're super good.
Then it was just YouTube being
strange.
Well, because that's what YouTube do.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've got this sort of really fun snowball. But I feel like for this to look like what it is, a little bit of burnt sienna and a little bit of phthalo blue. I'm adding some very dark values here. And the reason for that is that even in a moonlight silhouette like this one, where the moon's intense enough, bright enough, right, that we would have some dark shadows. And so some of those silhouetted flakes helps the white flakes feel white.
Yeah. Totally agree with you there.
Hmm?
I totally agree with you there.
Totally agree with me there.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm just. Oh no.
Just playing with that snow. Well, I'm really glad people were able to find us. I know a lot of people are eating and they're good and they're great, but again,
Another person doesn't know who Kevin is.
huh?
Another person doesn't.
I know it's been too long since Kevin. If you
Yeah.
go through my channel, 2,500 videos, there is a playlist. In that playlist, you can find them all, or you can just discover them because generally they're only findable from the video where they kicked off from. And Kevin is a Kraken. He's a mythical Kraken, and he used to only appear in bodies of water. Kevin's first appearance, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's how to paint underwater. And come here and start to give this little snowball some.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming by, peasant.
Thank you so much. And just happy holidays, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy whatever, like, I know it's not I lived in Canada. I know it's not Thanksgiving everywhere. I know. So whatever your meal reason is, whatever is going on in your life, I just wish it happy for you.
Yeah, we have like, not trying to like focus on it, but we're doing quite good. We got like 700 views so far.
Wow.
Huh.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
That is really surprising.
We've stuck pretty close to 100 concurrent viewers.
For a show that nobody knew was planned,
Yeah.
not bad. I'm just going to kind of, I know I'm going to be doing other things with Kevin, but I'm just thinking about where I want to sploot some of the snow that may have hit him.
We wish happy to you too.
Hmm?
Oh, a peasant was just saying, I wish happy to everyone.
Happy everything to everyone.
Yeah.
Just want you guys to have your families be safe and have food on your table, housing and food security, and life safety security.
I'm having problems. Is like love yourself.
Let's add lighter highlights to our snowball here to find it.
What was that outro you used to do? Love yourself. What was it?
You mean RuPaul? You're not going to love yourself? Who else are you going to love?
Remember your outro you used to do?
Oh, be good to yourself, be good to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. That's so funny that I was like, you mean RuPaul?
Not quite.
No, that wasn't who you were referencing.
No.
So now we've got a little bit of snow kind of coming off of him.
Yeah, there's a lot of snow coming off of him.
He got hit. It was a hard hit. The snow person have we named the snow person yet? I missed it. Just doing darker where I think it might have silhouette. And then I will be coming through with splatter and other value tricks to like pull it out from the background. This little dude's looking good. I have to say Sasquatch is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I will do a water plan.
is Mr. Snowman just gonna be 3 balls, or is he gonna have some hands?
Oh, he's going to have hands, face, outfit. It's a whole thing.
Mm.
I think I want to do a little arc, and then something playful like, oh, we're up to something right here.
Mm. Maybe a butterfly frog.
Oh, no, I really am going to make Luna do that. I'm going to make Luna
No, this is just
come
a joke,
down
but
and paint that.
child labor.
Huh?
This is just a joke, but child labor. Put your kids to work.
Oh, I know. Don't joke about that.
Okay.
No, you can't joke about it. I don't care. I'm not putting. You guys know. All right. So I want to stagger the positioning of this, and I want it to read well. So I'm going to come here, here.
Could like make Santa like his little sleigh and all that stuff hopping off the moon, like a little bounce. I don't know.
I would, if I was going to do Santa in this scene, I would have made this moon almost, I would have done one of the supermoons so that I could silhouette Santa across.
Oh.
I might have done that. Just cleaning up a line that I didn't like. So I can take a water drop to it and then clean up that paint. So what we have here is we've got, do we have a name for Sasquatch?
Oh, I don't think we do.
You guys need to tell me the story. What is happening in the scene? You have to tell me. I don't know. You have to tell me. I got to put out fluid paint.
Cooper isn't a bad name.
Hmm?
Cooper could be a pretty good name.
Cooper's a good name?
Yeah.
Cooper the Sasquatch?
I suppose it. I wish I knew how
I
to
just put out fluid white acrylic, titanium white by golden. I like it. It's highly pigmented. I'm going to grab a liner brush and load it up. No water. And very carefully kind of come here and work pulling this out from the background.
With some more people asking, but Kevin is the Kraken.
Kevin is a Kraken. There's a Kraken. He's starting up here. We don't have a name for our Sasquatch, and he's new. This is our first appearance of the Sasquatch. It's not our first snowman by any means, or our first Kraken. It is our first snowball fight.
Yeah. If you have any ideas for him for his name, you can just put him in chat. So.
Yeah. Suggest to us in chat what you think his name ought to be. Now I'm gonna come here and I tap my brush up and down, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of talking about the like glitteriness. This is called white lining. It's a thing I am prone to do. I like it a lot. Some artists are very against it. They have their reasons. I have heard their notes. But the end result is, I'm going to tell you this right now, you don't paint for other people in your studio. You paint for you. And yeah, there's some legal stuff you got to pay attention to as an artist, because you can create some problems for yourself if you don't. Right? Like if you just go steal all of Disney's ideas, they will come for you eventually. But in general, you're just painting for yourself. You're not painting for me or your partner or your pet or anyone to justify your creative time. Your creative time is justified by the very fact that you were born, you were here, and you showed up. That's all you needed to do.
Well, I mean, you could be painting for someone, like you're painting for someone.
That's a choice that you can make, but at the end of the day,
like
you can't control how they react to your artwork or your creative experience. And you do have to, as an artist, kind of come to terms with the fact that this is, for you. I'm doing little hashy mark lines. These little energetic lines also help kind of imply some energy to the snowball. Am I thinking about the snowball painting more than I should have? Could I probably have done a short, how to paint a snowball, and had 10 million views? Or wait, like I could say that I was going to teach how to paint a snowball, have 10 million views, and then everybody would have a short painting a snowball. So then it would be, not only would I have that, but then everybody would want to paint a snowball. They would all have views, and then they would decide that it's trending. Look at that gorgeous snowball.
Lucy Cooper.
All right, Sally is getting dinner on the table. Spider, what would you call the Sasquatch?
I was suggesting Cooper, but
Cooper is good. Lucy Cooper? I
Yeah.
see a Lucy Cooper suggestion.
yeah.
Lucy Cooper. All right. Lucy Cooper.
I'm not sure if that's a name or not, but Chance the Yeti. I don't know.
Chance the Yeti?
I don't know. I think that might be a name. I'm not really sure, but could be a name.
I wonder now, do you think Yetis are a specific species, or do you think that they are the same species? Like the way it's a mountain lion, it's puma, they're all the same, panther, it's all the same cat. They're just where they live and whether or not they have different coloration.
I didn't know that. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, they're like most of the cats are like the same cat.
Huh.
They just live different places. Like one cat eats a goat and one cat eats a llama, but it's the same cat. Anyways, so I'm wondering.
Smoothie the Sasquatch.
Love it.
Um,
I'm just adding sort of these little bits of snow that could be coming off. Now, let's grab a little bit of our, I think my snow color and my fluid white. I'm still using my liner because I think I'd like some of my branches here.
but yeah, I think we need to find out more about the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, and the Yeti. Like we need to figure out, like we need to have more research on them before we say like if they're the same species or.
We need more info.
We need more info because they vary a lot.
You know, you can't even definitively be like, there is no Sasquatch, because every once in a while they discover an animal that they thought was mythical, but turns out was real, like the deer with gills.
Oh yeah.
There's this mountain deer that has the strangest little horn and gills in its neck, and everybody thought it was made up, and then they found it. They're like, what?
And like vampire deer and stuff.
I'm not saying this means Megalodon is about to come forward and be like everywhere. I don't believe Megalodon.
I don't think the Megalodon is hiding in the Mariana Trench, guys.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I have to say, though, that movie, The Meg, was delightful.
Bigfoot lives in northern BC and Alberta. I'm not too familiar with Canada's
Oh, is
provinces.
Bigfoot from Canada? I'm pretty
I didn't think
sure
so.
that their range goes into the United States down into South America. I think they're a high range animal.
Oh, so Bigfoot lives in Canada.
Some
Sasquatch lives
person
in
who
the
doesn't
States.
know who we are is going to come in and hear us seriously discussing Sasquatch and being like, do these people?
Yeah.
You don't know us. We might. You don't know a stranger who's just walked into the show. That's right. I mean you. The stranger who just came into the show right now. It's probably you. You're so welcome. You should come and paint. We're going to talk about weird stuff.
So Peasants thinks that Bigfoot lives in Canada and Sasquatch lives in the United States. So
Okay.
where does Yeti live? Alaska?
I think like in Nepal.
Maybe some parts of Russia. Murdoch the Bigfoot.
I really got into that snowball too much. This is the first snowball
That's
fight
a
I've
really
ever-
detailed snowball.
This is the first time I've ever like just painted a snowball and been like that and been like, yeah, it's all good.
That's a lot of snow.
It's a lot, right? It's a
snowball's
lot.
not well packed. It is just
It's just-
crumbling.
It's just, I think, all right. It's gonna have to be a Santa hat.
Oh, my dad isn't here. I'm Spider. I'm the one talking.
Yeah, I have a co-host. My co-host is Spider today. I'm taking a little bit of my Doc's purple, my Cad red, and my magenta together. And it's just going to make me this sort of dark burgundy color. I'm going to come to the back of my snowman. And bravely arc a line. And then bring one back. So generally you can kind of see I'll find my like line on my hat.
Rainbow says that the Yeti, also called the abominable snowman, is an animal said to live in the Himalaya mountain range made of ice.
Ah, okay. Well, maybe we need to paint them all. Let's continue on here, guys. We're doing so good. I'm just painting that red.
Wait, MWB is Mark, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay, you remember him. You just don't Stephanie Bergeron, Mark Bergeron, we met them in Hot Springs. I've been friends with them
Oh,
all.
yeah.
We used to Skype all the time before I got weird and depressed and stopped talking to everybody.
Okay, yeah. Mark's suggesting Sassy the Sasquatch.
Which Mark? There's verbal confirmation in the real world. It's me. Yeah, you know it. I got so when I get depressed or I get down, sometimes I tend to hide out from my friends because I don't like to be burdened. And then also I just don't know what to say to anybody. I start to like I don't know if you do this, but I'll do a thing in my own life where I will start to try to help other people feel better about the things that are going on in my life, which I'm currently living through. And so I will sometimes kind of, you got to get over on the snowman more, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
I will sometimes, you know, kind of hide away, go away a little more than I should. And that's I've had very kind friends that are very understanding of that. And I'm grateful for it because
That's the
I
place
definitely
to use
need
it,
that
yeah.
forgiveness. I'm going to use my detail brush again. I put my round down.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to come into his body a little bit for this one. So that'll put his twiggy little arms up.
He's so scared.
So scared. And I'm going to put a little bit of a dot here. I'm just using a number 1 liner. Yeah, so that's just sometimes how I deal with stress or tragedy. And I'm so thankful to be here. I'm so thankful for my husband. I am so thankful for my kids. I did some stuff happened to us through the move that I'm not thankful for, but have survived in some kind of way. And I will just trust the universe will take care of. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to make a dot.
I don't know how easy it is, but
Got
we could start a poll about Sassy versus Cooper.
What?
There's a lot of people voting for Sassy, a lot of people voting for Cooper.
Oh!
I'm not sure if you should start a vote or not.
Do you want to start a little vote? I feel like maybe his second. I haven't left room for his. I made his smile too close to his eyes, and so I'm gonna take it out
You need
because
carrot
I left no
nose.
room for carrot.
Gotta have that carrot.
You gotta have that carrot, man. You can see I'm pretty comfortable just going no.
Skirker.
All right, how are we doing? Let me look over here. There's a header that says Kevin is coming. Kevin is back, says Jenny.
Kevin is back.
So Kella's talking about how important this group is to her, and you know, just for being just this incredible group. And I'm going to say one of the things, I was at the retreat, and I can't tell you how many people talked to us where the retreat was like the first time in a long time that they just got to get together with people whose company they enjoyed, just to hang out and talk about things and not lose their minds. And we had this one night where we stayed up till 3 a.m. with a group of us just talking about all the stuff that none of us can talk about on Facebook or anywhere because people have to scream their heads off. And we all just learned so much about each other, and it was so magical. Oh, we called it Magic Circle Club. That's why I started the Zoom classes that I'm doing, because it makes a difference to be with people. I'm going to kind of, what I do for snowman hands is first I make a thicker stroke. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of thick. It's not branch specifically true, but then I can make a little twiggy thumb shape and a couple little upward twigs. And it's like, if it doesn't become a hand yet remain a twig, I don't know what does, man. It's just super cool.
He is going to get destroyed. He is not having a good day.
He is not having a good day, no.
That snowball's gonna get him.
Get him big time.
Yeah.
So you see, it's like you do want them to be a little bit awkward because that's what keeps them looking like twigs.
Yeah.
Can you go to overhead again? Asked Jenny K.
Now we're gonna zoom in.
Oh, April's like, how do we Zoom class? Okay, so Zoom classes go like this. This is what Zoom classes are. You have to be a patron. You can sign up. If you're signed up on our old website at the $15 level or higher, all you have to do, if you're not seeing it in your dashboard, is email us at support@theartsherpa.com and we'll get you the links. If you're not currently a patron and you'd like to check it out, you just do the free trial. I have it set up on a free trial. So you can try it, because I only want people in the Zoom class for which that's the right choice for them. You know, I mean, I do need to, I love to eat, but that's really what that is. And so for 30 minutes, we let everyone in the waiting room. Everybody can see each other on their monitors. We play some games. We have a whiteboard. We do some sort of social, like everybody getting to know you kind of stuff. Then I teach a fun, weird class, as weird as this. It's usually something fun, usually something weird. And you guys vote on that over there too. And I can see what you're painting because I can see you guys at home, right? So I can be like, I can see, and sometimes even give advice. And we've done that a couple of times where I've been able to give somebody advice during the painting. And then at the end, we do a thing where you guys show me what you got, ask questions. You can also ask questions at any step and show me your painting and show me on camera what's going on, and I can help you troubleshoot it. And then at the end, we let everyone just kind of hang out for a little bit of time, finishing their paintings and talking to each other and supporting each other. I'm not even in the room. You guys get to know each other, because the most magic thing about the Art Sherpa Art Retreat is you guys becoming best friends with each other. It's extraordinary. There's nothing I do more important. It just blew my mind how isolated and traumatized and alone the baddies are, and have made us, and we're all just afraid to be with each other, especially creatives with big hearts. And so I can't tell you how, if you are in that place, come by, be brave, say hi, be seen, because it matters. You matter, and you may not know that right now. I'm going to say this to somebody who needs to hear it. You matter. You may not know it, you may not feel it, but you do. And sometimes how we feel and how things are can be very different, right? And you need help to see things clearly. So come by and, say hi. And if it's real bad, definitely always. I talk to my doctor whenever I need to. Spider, you talk to a doctor whenever you need to. Our whole family, there's nothing wrong with saying, life is hard. I get that. It's difficult to be an adult. But the level of difficulty I'm dealing with feels like it's persistent. It's prevalent. It's everywhere. It's not situational. I cannot do any. It's okay to ask for help. I ask for help when I need it. We all should ask for help. But if it's just, I just need to just talk to people again. Come by. We're good people. It'll be a good combo. I know that's a weird thing. Moderator Rainbow, I've been to 2 retreats and I'll do my absolute best to beat the next one. They're fun and fabulous. And Peasant is like, there's nothing wrong with talking to the doctor. There is not. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of red and purple, I think, this time. Cad red and purple. I'm going to put it on my little brush, and I'm going to come between my eyes. And you'll see what it did is I put such a spin on the head there, put one eye behind the carrot. And that's just what I needed to see to get it correctly, but I like that. I like the positioning of that. I like the gesture of that. So now I can come through and do a few little dots. I've got a Zoom class tomorrow. They're voting on what they're painting right now. I'm going to just paint it there. It's got to be kind of a similar thing. Oh, and if you do the free trial and you don't really love it's not for you, don't worry. 1, I'm not going to be mad at you. 2, if it's a 2-parter, because we don't stress ourselves out. I don't care. There's no algorithm to care about. So we paint. And then when it's time to stop, we stop. And then if we have to finish the painting, we meet again and paint again. So if it's a 2-parter, even if you want to drop the patronage, we will send you all the parts. We are not art cops in that way.
Yeah. We're pretty chill like that.
Notice that I'm really curving that smile. I'm exaggerating that so we can really feel that even though this is quite serious, we're all right. I'm going to come forward here, and I follow this line. So see this line right here on this ball? There's an invisible one here and an invisible one here, so I'll follow that line down. I may paint out some of my little coal buttons with a scarf.
I know this is a little off topic, but
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do like maybe like Okay, I'm gonna just challenge myself and do gold tinsel.
Yeah.
You're like, why? Why would you do that? I don't have gold tinsel as a reference, so this is good practice for me to check out how deep my visual memory catalog is.
people are asking if we have a Zoom tomorrow and where that will be.
We do have a Zoom. The link, if you've been to the Zoom, the link is the same link that it is. But I also always put it over on Patreon, and it should be in your dashboards if you are at that level of patronage. If you are at that level of patronage and somehow it's not in your dashboard, write support at theartsherpa.com and we'll give it to you. And also, anything that we paint in the Zoom class, we edit out all the Zoom part and upload to the patron playlist so every level patron has access to it. And I have a couple of weird levels of patron over at Patreon, and that's just because every once in a while, a few people ask for art coaching in their business or to bundle their labs and patronage. That is all those are there for. So those two are, if you need it, there's a consult your art business, and that's like review your portfolio for college or help you figure out how to get into the galleries you're trying to get into, that kind of thing. And I don't expect people to do multi-months of that. And that is a fraction of what I used to charge for doing it. And I know it seems like a lot, but it's a multi-event concern thing. So it's not for everybody. And don't worry, it's not something I expect of you. That was yellow ochre and Doc's purple. And I'm picking this because I find that metal, I'm going to have one little sort of tinsel blow that way, and then maybe another little tinsel blow that way. Metal has a lot of deep shadows, and half of getting metal is getting that depth. And I'm making long little strokes here, and I'm using the yellow ochre as a base for the gold.
Thank you for visiting, Peasant.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so appreciated.
Super nice having you here.
You know, so what's relevant to you guys probably over there is that you get to watch all the exclusives and you help us out, and that's how we can do stuff like this. And then also there is the Zoom classes, and then I am doing painting coaching. So if you sign in a painting at the next level up, you can get consulting where I help you with a specific painting for anything. I don't care if it's, as long as it doesn't break the rules, I don't mind if it's for like a show or whatever too. All right, there we go. So we have the first part of some tinsel going out. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. It's looking pretty awesome.
So, is a very good thing.
Very
good. And listen, you know, like if you need extra help on any of that stuff, write us. We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm adding dark lines to the back of my twig hands, and that's just to increase the contrast, and I will even be coming here with a super bright highlight, and that is also to increase the contrast. That will help these objects read in this world. Is that necessarily the exact lighting they would have? No.
But it's a painting, and there's a Kraken and a Sasquatch in the back, so.
There's a crack in the Sasquatch?
There's a Kraken and a Sasquatch in the background, so lighting doesn't really...
Oh, okay. You're saying like our subject matter is so like not like realistic. We don't got to worry about it. Notice I break that line up, and that's a good way to get some highlights in there. Okay. That's pretty good. Now, I'm going to make some orange, mostly yellow. I try to do multi-directional lines with my orange, and it's going to be about having a shadow and having a bright, bright highlight and having the right hue and value, I believe. But again, I'm not looking at any references. This is me just remember when I was like, let's paint warm metal, let's paint cool metal. I do that my whole life, right? So how many,
Remember that lesson?
huh?
I remember that lesson.
Yeah, how many metal memories do I have when I'm trying to paint an idea from my head?
Mm. Thank you for putting the link in the chat, Rainbow.
Thank you so much, Rainbow. Yeah. And I am, when I say I'm okay, like I see people sign in and cancel and it's okay. I'm not mad at them.
Yeah.
It's super all right. Check it out. If it's right for you, do that. If it's not right for you, don't do it. Only do it if it's right for you. Somebody signed up for my text and then responded because you can answer the text messages. So like that's another place to talk to me. And they sent me a text and they were like, "No, you bimbo."
What?
I know. I was like, "You signed up for my text message to call me a bimbo?" That's even a weird thing to call me. It was just so strange. I was like, and that's not even how I would think of myself. It was just the weirdest thing. I'm adding a little more red to this so that our Santa hat, when I get it done, reads a little more vibrantly like the bridge.
Some people are in their basement a little too long.
Hmm?
Some people live in their parents' basement a little too long.
Some people live in their parents' basement. All right. So I think I'm going to get a little bit of my yellow ochre and white now, and I have some cad yellow in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and look, it might end up looking like just fringe, but hopefully when we're done, it'll look like metal.
Donna's hitting the road.
Hmm?
Donna's hitting the road. Go.
All right. Don't you chat while you're driving, Donna.
Yeah. That'd be dangerous.
It is super dangerous. Just grab some yellow. So I'm just trying to get, so its gold is more than just yellow. It is a reflection of everything around it. Sometimes I'll do dots and lines to try to get it.
Feed the trolls to the Kraken.
They just like it. And I don't feel like I get too many trolls, but like even when I do, I'm always like, what? What?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
You do you, bud.
Like, weird thing to be feed the trolls the Kraken. I love that.
Yeah.
There's, Valerie, there are meanies in the world, and I agree. Thank goodness for the good people in this world who make up for the meanies. I realize, like, for us to have the geniuses that we need, the once in a generation geniuses, when there's more people, it means there are more geniuses. There are more Rogers, Mr. Rogers, there's more Fred Rogers, but there's also, unfortunately, more Ted Bundys. It's like a spectrum of people,
wow, that
right?
really took a turn. Okay.
Hmm?
That took a turn.
You always say I take a turn. I'm going to add some little white kind of like glitters to this just to say that maybe some of this is like a glittering. And that might help with its metallic feel. We'll see.
I'm pretty sure she's just closing her personal chat. I don't think she's closing the YouTube chat.
Well, I think Donna's driving, so.
Yeah, they're closing the personal chat.
Mm-hmm. So just trying to add a little bit of sparkliness to it.
Oh, Suzanne is saying best Thanksgiving ever. Just super awesome.
Oh, that's so good to hear. I'm adding a little bit of cad yellow because nothing is like a cad yellow, right?
I would not know, but I'm going to agree with you on that.
You're going to just go with it?
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know, I'm going to go fly a plane, Mom. It's fine. All right. So now I will highlight the nose. So far, no, man. We're good. I can hear you, Luna. You're shout whispering. They can. All right. So I'm going to add a little bit of bright orange to the top of my carrot. So what this should do, this should give me a carrot that has a shadow and a highlight. And I'll take that. That's good enough. I'm happy with that. Mmm. I have no idea.
We may end up spending another half hour on another snowball or not. We don't really know.
We don't really know. I don't know what to tell you. It's been a weird day. All right, I'm going to come get some red. And we're going to go to the top of the hat. Not too much longer.
I was thinking a little too hard.
Like what's going on with food? That's what I would say is where it is. Now I'm going to take some bright red across the brim here.
Why do I'm really worrying about the snowman for some reason. I was like, oh no.
Oh no, he's so defenseless.
But he's still smiling.
He's okay. He's a snowman. He's like, you can't hurt me. I'm a snowman.
I live in the snow.
All right, I'm adding just another little kind of bright.
Oh, they're wondering if there would be a traceable for Kevin.
There's a traceable for this and the other painting. So yes, the traceable will be here. I will traceable this painting and the original state of the painting. So you guys can, add what you want to add or keep what you want to keep or any of that. I just added a little bit of highlights back a little further into him, and I think that'll help. And then I'm going to come in and grab a little bit of I'm going to actually go brown and black and white. I don't know if it's the right choice yet, but it can be sometimes. When I have a lot of blue and I'm trying to do this, sometimes this helps. So I'm just tapping up and down. This will be the fluff, but it's brown and black and white instead of the blue and white formula.
We got 1,000 views.
That is wild.
Yeah.
All right, and so I put a little puff off the back, and I will come highlight this up a bunch as floof soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to highlight the little face. So, like, I think that what's happened here is that Kevin swam up the fresh water just to check things out, right? And
he got froze.
Yeah, or he met the snowman, and the snowman's like, "Do you want to have a snowman fight?" And Kevin's like, "Okay." And then the Sasquatch was like, "That's a very unexpected thing you don't see every day. I'm gonna go peek at it." Just peeking in. Tell the story. Tell the story of the painting of adding a highlight to the belly. What do you think is happening? Tell their whole story. Like, what happened today? Imagine you just ran into this painting and you had to explain to somebody what you thought was happening in the scene. Story time wise.
I feel like someone dared, like someone of the snowman friends decided to dare the snowman into doing something during Christmas or Thanksgiving. It's like, fine, I'll go do it. And Kevin was frozen in the ice. And then he threw a snowball at Kevin, and Kevin did not like that. And,
Kevin said no?
Yeah, and the Sasquatch heard the snowball be thrown.
I'm adding a little black just to some of the gold sparkle to see if it popped it. I don't know if it did. But I was like, it won't hurt me to do it. So let's paint our Kraken, and then we're done.
Guinea K says, I love seeing you, I love seeing how you change your mind, and then,
that was yellow ochre and Doc's purple together. You like seeing how I change my mind?
Oh, Guinea J says, I love how seeing how you change your mind, and then show how you change your painting. It's new to me. I feel more secure making mistakes than I can erase.
Oh yeah, that's why do I love acrylic? Because I can change my mind. I think that is sometimes what we lose when we take out segments like Kevin the Kraken from, our live shows, is that these fun shows, these play shows, I'm going to come in here still more yellow, ochre, and purple. I'm using that sort of as the base. I like that is a color scheme for aquatic creatures. But yeah, is these fun shows sometimes teach unintended but super valuable, more purple this time, lessons. They just do.
Oh wait, sorry, we weren't looking at Kevin. I had to switch the camera.
Yeah. Well, it's your first time running the show, right? Now I've got to figure out the underside of some tentacles here. So let's get a little bit magenta and some yellow ochre, and I mix it into that purple tone, a little white.
Oh, Skirker. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think that, or they think that Kevin is going to get the snowman, but Sasquatch wants to save him. I think Sasquatch built the snowman very securely.
And infused him with magical life force?
Oh, that says secretly.
Secretly.
That apparently Sasquatch built the snowman secretly.
The Sasquatch built the snowman secretly and brought him to life to lure Kevin in, because Sasquatches secretly like to have calamari for Thanksgiving.
I don't know.
You're like, Mom!
What?
Why are all your fairy tales so dark? I'm going to go ahead and give just a little bit, just a sliver of under tentacle color there.
Could move it over here.
Hmm?
Just think about where I could put the camera, maybe.
Is my head in the way?
Oh, no, you're good.
So what Dad usually says is, your head's in the way. Okay. So we've got a little bit of a tentacle there.
That's looking good.
All right. And let's tentacle out this way. We're going to turn the tentacle towards us a bit by making it thicker in the middle and thinner at the edges. That'll help turn the tentacle towards us. Tentacle. So this little pink sort of represents, some of what's above the water with him, and I like that quite a lot. Okay. Now, for him, I like to go Quinacridone and Dox purple, actually. And let's start to add a little white to it. I'm going to make little spots. These are going to be irregular, not dissimilar in that they will have spaces of dark between them the way a giraffe might. I do paint him a little different every time I get to him, and that's because I haven't done a character design sheet. And I haven't with Kevin, even though normally I would with a character that is like this. Because if I did, then I can make a stuffy. Or if I do character design more involved, then there's a lot more ways to make Kevin part of our world. But then once he's designed, then it becomes that's who he is. So it's making those final decisions about Kevin. I'm adding a slight lighter ring around the eye, and I will probably come back with darker, and I will do a whole wet Jasmine Beckwith eye. You okay, Spider?
Yeah, I was making sure I'm getting good at camera angles. I'll switch back to that in a minute.
Now I can come right here. And sometimes it's fun to get a little of the yellow ochre into it. And how I can make the tentacle show that's bent towards me is by putting a little of the lighter patterning at the top of it. And then all of a sudden, almost like a magic trick, you will see by its values the shape of it.
Hard to keep it focused.
It can be hard to keep it focused, can't it?
There we go. That's looking okay.
I'm still just using that number 6 sepia.
Very interesting conversation happening in chat.
Oh, tell me about it.
I don't know if I want to.
Okay. That's a weird thing for you to say. I don't know what to think of that. I don't want to.
they're talking about the Sasquatch throwing very spicy snowballs.
Oh, well then, yeah, I get it. No, because yes, spicy snowballs. I'm just starting to think about it. This is actually sketching. I haven't even made a firm decision. I mean, like firm enough that it's probably going to stay in this range and we're going to be spotted, but there are many, many turns and changes and things that I might make.
Oh, thank you, Mary.
I'm adding a little more white to our snowball color.
Thank you a whole bunch.
Thank you, Mary. Mary, I'm so glad you miss Kevin. I miss Kevin too. We're going to do Kevin more. It's been a hard few years, right? We're going to play a little more, Mary. We're just going to start enjoying our art time, and we're going to do more of these things and let the algorithm work itself out. I'm adding just a little more white to that snowball coming off of him just so that we can see it a little bit better.
It is a monster war.
Trying to make sure that this feels like particulates that have gone unexpected places. Some pure white to help this snowball feel like it's separated from the background where it's hitting him, so we know that it's definitely hitting him. Rinse out. I'm going to go ahead and get back into my purple now for a second, my friends. I'm using my Detailiest detail brush.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's not the bummer, is it? Making a fine line over here. And then another fine line. A little bit of my white into my Kevin color. And that just starts to help his eyes show.
Mm.
Now I like a little bit of my burnt sienna and my phthalo green still on my detail brush.
I can guarantee you that I will be grabbing food the moment this is over.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is it already to grab?
What? Oh, no.
Okay.
It's hunger.
So I can do a half eye or I can do an eye focused this way. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to focus my eye towards the snowman.
Kevin is calling his girlfriend to come out and hang.
Well, he's been known to do that. She shows up, though. You need to run.
Is she really big?
No, she's just a little tiny thing.
Hmm.
You can see her in the original Kevin, How to Paint Underwater.
Hmm.
And that's when we found out Kevin has a girlfriend. And I'm adding the black of the pupil here. And this was just a choice to make his eye large like this, right? It was just a choice that I made. There were many choices I could make.
Well, thanks, Melissa, for
I
coming
don't
and
think
hanging
I want to do him with an eldritch yellow eye, so I'm not quite there yet. But we may get there. We'll see.
Yeah.
traditionally I do tend to do him. You could also do him with an orange eye pretty well because of the purple.
Mm. I think purple and green looks very good together.
Yeah, I do too. And I feel like he's just feeling green to me. So today is a green day. I'm going to bring this back. I'm still using this small detail brush. And you can see I use the brush stroke to drag back into the eye to sort of feather that so that it's a little easier to look natural. And I might do a little more of the green, just a little bit at the base here, kind of smudging up. It's looking pretty good. That eye.
It is looking pretty darn good.
Yeah, I'm going to grab a little bit more white. And it's okay if there we go, little grade there. You might need to fluff the snow on that bank just a little bit for him. A little white there.
Mary says that Kevin has, like, she heard that Kevin has a second girlfriend. Ooh, Kevin. Kevin
is a problem.
Kevin's a problem.
Kevin is absolutely a problem. And I love it when people know enough Kevin backstory to be like, no. Because you remember that one time.
That one time on a Thursday.
It's probably on a Thursday. It's usually on a Tuesday, a Thursday, or Saturday.
Yeah.
Why? Randomly. I'm just kind of working that there, and then I'm going to grab some little green and then put some unevenness there. Rinsing out. Into the purple we go. Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. If you add a little phthalo blue to your Doc's purple, it will register as a really profound chromatic black. So then I can go through here and kind of improve the lines. And if you've got to go, you can maybe, I don't know, honey will do it, but maybe honey will do it. Right. And so if there's more pink showing, then you can kind of get the sense that perhaps the tentacle is turned.
Yeah.
Just adding those more refined, thought out lines. Now here, probably what will happen is we will use value and color to pull that tentacle out from the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, we're just refining the lines. See how that's just like that little,
Yeah. Little pokey tentacle. Yeah.
I can also come in here and take a little bit of my snow and
So is it water or is it ice?
so I
is it
think
like a
where
slush?
it is in a slush state,
Mm.
right? So some of it is solid enough to hold something, but it's very easy to break or, come through. So it hasn't quite started to maybe be a thing, but it hasn't quite totally been the thing.
Mm.
So he still can come out, and he's not having to like really, really shatter ice to do it.
Yeah. It's a good painting.
Has some moments. Has some little.
We should do more stuff like this.
I agree. I agree, actually, wholeheartedly.
Seems like everyone seems to like this too.
I think we all enjoy it. It's just a ton of fun. All right, I'm gonna grab a little bit of my white and purple, my purple and quinacridone.
Mm.
And you can see that color does help it show better. And what I may do is put the purple back, the dark as the spots, because right there it will show better.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go put the light spots, over the dark because the background is dark and it helps show. But in this one, because the background is dark, we want to go the opposite direction. Those are some of the little spots. So you can see when it came out, I could go the opposite direction.
Mm.
Let's make sure we've got a good line there. Not entirely sure of that line.
Oh, wait. Switch back. Switch back.
Sorry.
You're okay.
Okay. My dark color. My dark color.
Dark color.
Yeah. Sometimes it's always good to come back with something and then you kind of like work it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to come right here with my yellow ochre, and I don't mind that it gets into the pink over here.
Mm-hmm.
We know that's where we were going anyways.
Kevin is going in for a tickle attack.
And Kevin does. He cheats. And I think that's just what's important to understand about Kevin.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to become a patron. Just watching this video does help a lot.
It really does. That's a true story there, Spider. It really does. More than anything. I mean, the only reason I'm here is because, they decided to watch.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just painting this around. And this kind of represents that fleshy padding.
Hmm.
The grippy side.
Yeah.
Where usually you have to deal with stuff like modified hairs or
Yeah. Or
something
suction cups.
super problematic.
Suction cups also work. But.
Sorry, didn't mean to lean.
Or,
I do that to Dad all the time.
I'm trying to make. I just use the camera angles when they work and don't when they don't.
There you go. And I will try to be out of the way. It's good to let me know, though, so everyone can see. Because I don't like to block the view. Little blue there. Right into that mix. That was the phthalo blue. And then I'm going to these little circles can sometimes, kind of imply
Thanks so much, Heather.
a little bit is going on there. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and get this color, my pink and a little bit more white.
Means a lot. Heather donated. Heather
Oh
C.
my goodness. Heather C, thank you so much. And I'm just tapping this brush up and down, trying to create kind of like a little texturing. And then maybe a little more burgundy, but white and yellow. So yellow, ochre, magenta, white.
A lot of people are talking about changing the snowballs into food items. for
To food
Thanksgiving.
items like a turkey.
Like pies and potatoes. I guess 'cause
Like
it's
they're having
Thanksgiving.
like a food fight.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of love that. I think that's sort of totally brilliant.
It'd be fun if we maybe had a Thanksgiving ping where it's a giant table full of all the creative little monsters. Maybe as a patron live or something to which creatures having a Thanksgiving food
I
fight.
mean, why not? So I'm going to come here and kind of imply out just a hint. Just a hint, my friends. Just a hint. And that's just because sometimes those things would show in the water, right? And I just want to make sure that it isn't that nice once that reflection went in?
Yeah.
It just is a nice little touch. It really is. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow, and I guess I will use my lemon yellow, but you can use your cad yellow. It's not important to use the lemon yellow, and I'm going to come in here and try to make something super vibrant. A little white, a little bit of that bright yellow, though I don't know that it's necessary. Little lines kind of going back into the eye. Just to give that eye a little personality, you might say.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to come here and I'm going to get into my fluid white paint. And I'm going to do some white lining on the snowball. So, like, remember how you were like, well, we don't need 30 minutes on a snowball? Enjoy.
You get it anyways. Included with your bundle.
I got to end with included with my bundle?
Oh, no, I'm saying that the snowball got included with your bundle. I don't know.
I love it. Kraken bundled with snowballs.
Snowballs are surprisingly quite a bit of the video. It's fun though.
Super fun. You know, and I don't know, but for you guys, anybody would care about all this weird stuff that I do, but I love that you all do. Like, so he's got some snow that is like really, really, you know, I don't have snow collected on him per se, and that really is just because
He was in the water.
yeah, but I still will do some reflection lines. Because he would be wet.
Yes.
We're almost done, guys. Don't worry. Not that you were worried about being done. And come over here. I'm going to come over the snowman.
They're curious if you're going to show the what is it called? The sealant or the fluid white container? Titanium white.
Yeah, it's simply titanium white. I buy 1 ounce at a time because I don't need more and it lasts about 6 months. And it's hyperpigmented compared to the other paints. So you can even make paint with that paint. That's like a weird thing. You can use it to add to other things. Like their polymers and stuff. So it's actually pretty useful. And I always have some around. I use it for splatter. I'm going to use it for some fine particulate splatter.
I don't know if we'll be able to keep this painting. It might be taken before
Oh,
we
you
can
think
frame
Patty's taking it?
it. I think Patty might take it before we can even frame it.
I think Patty might. I was surprised, but I was like, you know, it's not going to stay that lovely little winter landscape. I'm adding some blue in here. You see how this is becoming, and then so it gets a little darker as it goes back, but that does tend to register and look and feel a little bit more like fur. Or the little kind of Arctic North Pole gear. But I'll take it. I like it.
Yeah.
It works for me.
Might go over to this. Well, I think we're okay with that angle.
Here you go. There you go.
I'm just like thinking here, just like.
They love that side angle though.
Yeah.
Well, adding a little highlight to that. So look at him, now he's all highlighted up.
Or highlighted it up.
I've got some detailing on Kevin here.
Might even want to zoom in. Or, oh, Kevin. Yes.
Kevin. I added a little reflection to Kevin's eye.
A little bit.
A little bit. A little bit.
A little bit.
This is just with the fluid paint and my detail brush. Sometimes I offload a little paint off of my detail brush if I have a very fine line that I've got to deal with.
You know, I was expecting this to take another 2 hours just to do all these goofing little shenanigans.
You know, and the shenanigans absolutely do take time,
Yeah.
right? Shenanigans are time intensive. I'm going to go ahead and add some water.
Oh, Pax's mom, yeah, it's me, Spider. I'm on the camera. This is for sure a 3-hoot video. Like, there's no way this is like 2 or 1 hoot. This is 3-hoot for sure.
Yeah, I mean, in that it's been pretty long. I would say the first one was probably in the 2-hoot range. Just getting the snow in and the bridge, but as the people who were there, they get to decide. And then once we add these guys, it started to become kind of a...
Thank Cassie for hanging out.
Thank you so much.
Uh,
Come here and add a little reflections, like they're a little wet. We'll rinse that out. And then I'm going to come in and grab a filbert for just a second and get back into my snow color. And just make sure that those banks, right, have a little opening in them so it feels like there's actual snow. And I may even come right here and make that line just, if you'll notice, I made it sort of irregular. And what that did is that made his eye feel a little more believable as having been intentionally placed there from the beginning. Sometimes when you add characters to a painting, you've got to think about, well, I didn't intentionally begin this project. You're going to need Dad's help from there. I don't know how you come back from that.
no, okay.
Whoa! I think you changed the color, though. I don't know. I'm going to continue to highlight the hill. We're highlighting the hill. Do you think you want to get Dad to get it back before we go? Or you're like, no, I'm Spider. I'm going to fly $1 billion airplanes. And
I'm okay. You might want to move your head a little bit. Thank you so much.
so now we've just kind of iced that up. And then the next thing that I want to do, and I really love all of this very, very, very much, but I do want to get my splatter tool. I think I'll use this smaller one. This is, these are toothbrushes on Amazon. I don't know. Remember how I said you could get a toothbrush? It doesn't have to be my thing. Okay, so what you saw me do there was just test the splatter.
It's kind of hard to get an angle on, but it seems like, oh, wow. Wow, look at that.
Yeah. All right, I'll try one more time. Wish us luck. So a couple energetic moments off of the snowball, right, lets us... We're actually done. We're about ready to sign off.
Yeah.
I don't want to do too much here. It's a little bit, this helps me be in motion, like the snowball is in motion. But real quick, before anything dries, I'm going to make sure his face doesn't have too many little moments on them because, and the reason is that,
He's far away.
yeah, well, and every little dot on him matters. I get to eat after this, guys, and I feel like I earned it. So I'm just making sure that these aren't too big and that they haven't messed him up too much. I think he's good though. Does he read as a Squatch to you? Is that a John approved Squatch? Super good. I've got to kind of get this here, and then I'm
Oh,
good.
thank you, Patty. Thank
Thank you,
you so much,
Patty.
man. I might want to zoom in on that Squatch.
There we go. That way his face isn't too much. I think I've got a nope out. I think is Kevin. Oh, thank you, Patty. Oh my goodness. So what we have here is Kevin the Kraken was lured inland by our Sasquatch, who built and imbued a snowman with magic to play a snowball fight with Kevin. I think because he's too shy to meet Kevin, and didn't want to be alone for the holidays. So he created this whole ruse so that Kevin would come and have Thanksgiving with him.
Yeah.
Much like we did to Patty. Guys, know that you're loved and you matter. You matter to us and you matter in the world. I know there's a lot we don't have control over, but we do have control over how we treat each other. And I so am grateful every day at how you treat me, how you choose to treat me. And I hope you feel that I choose to treat you very, very well. And I hope you enjoyed the holiday special. We'll be bringing these back and expect, old Kevin rules may apply. It may be that when you see water, Kevin may come back. You never know. But regardless, until then, be good to yourself. Be good to each other.
And I want to see you at an easel very soon.
Like he said. Bye-bye. Happy holidays.